Hi guys, I wanted to take a minute and share with you a few things that I've made because pretty soon there's going to be a video uploaded where I'm actually creating something using the techniques that I use to create these things in front of you. And so I wanted to show you what I've made previously and how it led up to what I create with you on video in the next few days. The video is already done, I just have to finish editing it and I'll put it up for you. But I wanted to share with you first what I've made. These are little girls. The inspiration for all of these, for everything that you see, the inspiration started with a coffee filter. And I will explain how I make them, and I will share some prep work with you in the next video or two. I'm not sure if it's going to be one part or two. But this video is just to share with you some of the projects I've done and help you maybe be inspired to watch the video that's coming up and create with me or create one of your own. This is the first one that I designed. And like I said, the coffee filter is the inspiration for her skirt. And then the rest of it I drew up. I drew up her arms and her head and her body. And the coffee cup I sketched out from a reference photo. I just looked at a photo of a coffee cup that I liked the design of, and I just sketched it out loosely on paper and then tweaked it. Bailey's in here with me in her bed. She's over there, and so she's already starting to snore. So if you hear kind of mumbly, rumbly sounds, it's her snoring. She's so cute. So the coffee cup is using a reference photo, but I did draw it up myself and cut it out and everything. I did not print out anything and use it. So you can cut up and use anything you want from your imagination to create your patterns. So I used embellishments of all kinds, flowers, trims, laces, fabric, whatever I wanted to use that I had on hand. I'm trying to use up stuff that I've got because I want to use what's in my stash, narrow my stash down, and then be able to buy fresh and new things that inspire me rather than having the same old stuff sitting around. So that's the first one. I'm going to try to go a little quicker than I did in the last video because I've already made a video about this and trashed it because I didn't like it. So this is one of the other ones. I don't know what the order is anymore. I just know that was my first one. This one's another coffee one. She's got a little bird in her hair, and her little bandana is made from lace. Actually, it's ecru trim, and she's got layers of lace as her skirt on top of the piece that I made from the pattern piece that I use for her skirt. You can see. So these were lots of fun. There's lots, I'm going to get a pointer here. There's lots of things you can use. Like this body here, I used stickers. I had a package of stickers, not a package, a paper of stickers that I bought a long time ago from a scrapbook store that I never used. And I thought, I'm going to use these stickers. So I just peeled off the stickers and stuck them on my pattern pieces and then cut them out to fit. There's a few layers here that kind of blend together to make what I've gotten. But it's cute. You can't really tell what I did, but it's cute because you can see the colors. And the coffee cup is actually stickers, 2 of them actually. And this is paper, and then flowers and trim. And the back, this is her backside, and that's a sticker also. And her headpiece is just a piece of eyelet trim and flowers that I put on upside down, like that. This one here is also a coffee girl, and she has a fabric bandana and fabric clothes. This is paper here, and I centered her coffee cup in a different place. I added trims at the bottom. Hear Bailey snoring? So stinking cute. This one I used duct tape. So the duct tape covered the pattern piece that I created, and then this is a piece of deli paper that I used to wipe off my excess paint as I was painting, and pattern paper and scraps, trims. This is a long time ago I took some stamps that I had and I stamped them off onto some watercolor paper, and I was going to watercolor them, and I didn't use all of them, so I had them sitting around. So I took those and used those as the body pieces for her. So this is what that is, a piece of paper where I had a stamp. This was a square piece of paper with a big stamp on it. So this is part of it here and here. And this one is one stamp on the back. And then this one here, she has a feed sack head bandana, and that is vintage. I've had that laying around for a little while. And then her body is paper, and this her skirt is made out of deli paper that was used to wipe excess paint off on. And then there's fabric and tulle. She's a little teacup girl. She has beads for legs. She's the only one I've actually put legs on that are beads. I had a necklace that I bought a long time ago that I never wore, that I tore apart and used to create her legs. And there's the back. I created some smaller girls, and I also created a couple of girls that size without the skirt. And I believe these two are the ones that are the same size without the skirt. Let's do this one first. All I did was eliminate the skirt and set her in her cup. And added legs at the bottom. So her legs and arms are the same pattern piece. Very easy. I gave her little socks. Sometimes I put them on the front and the back, sometimes just the front. This one I just put on the front. Little bows. I used music paper. So just scraps out of my scrap bin. And I will explain all that in the next video. This one is using sample pieces that were sent to me by a drapery company, and they're square samples. I have a lot of them, and so I used a couple of them on this one. This is one on her body, this is one on her cup, and this is one for the back of her body. And her legs are just regular fabric. I used a brad that I cut off the back and just stuck the top part on. And I had some Scrabble chips that have little circles in them that you can use for hanging. And so I grabbed out 4 or 5 from the little box I keep them in, and I just grabbed them randomly, but the letters I pulled out were C-U-P, K, and I think another letter. And I thought how cool that I pulled out the word cup. So I put brads through the holes, and then I think I stuck it through the top layer of her head so that you could not see it in the back, and sandwiched it in between. But then I put cup up here, and it's upside down, but if you want to get picky about it, we could always turn it around. It's going to be backwards now, but it could be a puck of coffee if you wanted to. It's kind of cute. A cup of coffee or a puck of coffee. And then I made some smaller girls. They're not much smaller, but they were cut down so that they could be smaller bodies and smaller skirts. And I don't know if you can tell the difference in the size. Let me get one to compare. Yeah, you can tell the difference in the size. I just wanted a few smaller ones. I actually wanted them a little smaller than this, but the way I cut it out and designed it, she turned out a little bit bigger. But that's okay. That's still cute. And I can still go smaller. I may make some Christmas ornaments this way. But this one, I just used a bunch of flowers I had. I'm trying to use up flowers in my stash. I had this piece of, I don't know what it's even called, a sticker sitting in my box. So I stuck it on her face. I didn't give these girls or anybody faces. I either put a piece of paper on their face or left it blank or put a little item. And I just like it that way. Your imagination can do the work. And then I took jute for her hair and stuck it up and wrapped it around and stuck a little rose in the middle. And I hang them all through their arms right here. This one is not a tea or coffee. Oh, and actually this one says sweet. That's where I deviated. I changed from coffee and tea to this one saying sweet. And there's someone that I knew that always tells me be sweet. And not that I'm not sweet. I am sweet, but they always say be sweet. So anyway, I put the B up here. I have a sticker that said B, so that's just be sweet. And this one here, I created using a, what is it called? Packaging where flowers came off of something, and this is the packaging, and you can see the text that was on the packaging. And these were tags. These were tags, and I explain that in the video that's coming up also. And this was just paper and lace and trim. Now she didn't get a word other than, she didn't get coffee or tea. She got the word art, and it's on top of a piece of muslin that I wrapped around into like a little vase and stuck some flowers out of. So she's holding a little vase of flowers. It says art. And then this one here is using the beads again from that necklace I told you I cut apart. I just added a few of them that I had laying around extra and made her a necklace. And then her little word is tea, and her little flowers are the suede kind of flower, like fake suede, faux suede. Hope you can see this okay. I'm not really able to see my monitor very well. I got a bright light in my eyes. This one I made using all kinds of die cuts that I had run through my Vagabond and didn't use them all. I just have them in a box. And so I stuck them all together on the pattern pieces and then trimmed it up. So there's several layers of die cuts on here. So for example, on the back of this cup, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. And there may be more underneath there that I just laid on top until the cup was covered and then trimmed it. And the hair wasn't intended to be hair like this. I was putting the stickers, not the stickers, I was putting the die cuts on her head, and I was going to trim it down to the head size, and I decided that I liked the way this flowery thing stuck out because the flowers were looking like she was a little flower girl or her hair had flowers, so I left it. Then I moved over to bunnies, and there's 2 designs of bunnies. One has a floppy ear. And so this is the first style that I made, and I used the same design for the body where I used the coffee cup as a coffee cup filter as an inspiration, coffee filter as inspiration, and I made their body a little bit different shape and made arms and did the same thing, layer different things as a doily down here and some lace and trim. These trims are adhesive backed that I glued down because I wanted to use them up, and then a doily back here kind of made her little shawl or wings, whichever one you want to look at it like. And then I didn't give her a coffee cup, which is kind of odd. I just gave her a little bundle of flowers. And then this one here, I made a bigger coffee cup design with a bigger handle, more squared off, and she kind of sits in it or on it, and she has little legs and little socks, and she's tea. And then this is part of that necklace I told you about where I glued it to her head because I had it laying around and I'd made it to use on another one. It didn't look good, so I kept it to the side, and eventually this one came along and I was able to use it on her. And that's the back. And this one here, also used the big coffee cup design, the big square. And inside these little flowers here are the little bugle beads that came in between this necklace that I told you I cut apart. I have a bunch of little pieces that came off of it that I thought I wouldn't use, and I just dumped a bunch in here with glue, and I thought that looked cute. This flower here I cut in half thinking I'd put either 2 flower pieces up here or make it bangs because I didn't like a whole flower, and one of them happened to fall down on her face and look like an eyelash, so I just decided to go with eyelashes. And then the centers here are pieces of trim that I cut off, and it kind of looks like her eye makeup. But whatever your imagination sees is what it can be. It could be anything you want it to be. And then there's the back. And this one, I'm gonna get confused which one I've showed you. This one's a big cup also, but I changed the handle again to a more rounded handle and added leaves and a flower and the word tea and little flowers and hearts in her ears. And the tail, it's a little bunny tail, is a piece of trim that was sent to me for free and something I ordered for me to just see and try. That, you know, they send you things hoping you'll buy some, and it looked like a little bunny tail to me, so I just cut it off and used it as a bunny tail. This one here is a smaller version because I changed the ear style, made the body smaller, the cup smaller, and same technique though, laces, trims, whatever you want to use. It could almost be a little boy bunny because of the bow tie that I used, but I put flowers that she's holding and I wanted her to be a little girl. I didn't make any boys. I should make some boys. And then the lace on the back and the front you can't really see because it's covered, but on the back this is what it looks like. It's like a little tutu skirt. And this one here, same thing, same design, smaller bunny, and I used one flower up here that I folded up and put a button up here and a little bow. And this one is layered with different laces. And also, her cup is a deli paper that is one of those that I have off to the side that I put up my extra paint on when I'm painting, that I use to cover the cup. And then I took a flower petal that I liked or had laying on my table. Actually, it was sitting there and I liked it, so I put it on the cup. And then I just took extra little bits of things I'd been using that were scraps that were laying around, little bits of trim and jute and string and lace, and I glued it all on here, and then glued some buttons and a little flower and a little bird. And so that's her little bird nest cup. I thought that was really cute. And then I switched over to making some birds. So here you can see them. The birds were cute and fun, and I plan on making more birds, probably some smaller ones and different designs of birds, but this is what they look like. Let me pull one out. Hold on, they're stuck together. The little butterfly grabbed. Okay, there's the little bird. And her little cup says bird seed, and I used the small cup for her. I drew out my design the way I wanted my feathers to look, my feathers and tail, and then went with it and built her. She is just as cute as could be and so simple. And this little flower piece in her hair is just the bottom half of this flower down here. A little upside down heart, butterfly, and the back's pretty simple. And this next one, same thing. This bird seed. And this is a die cut that I used two of put together to make the little tuft of her hair. And this is just one of those little paper clips you can get at the office supply store or scrapbook store. And I just glued it in there for looks. I thought it was cute. This one is kind of special. That's because I used paper that was created after I had fun playing with my granddaughter and my daughter-in-law at Easter last year, where we decorated Easter eggs and we used shaving cream and paint and glitter and things like that. And the cleanup paper towels I grabbed up and kept. Everything that was painty or glued or anything like that that we used for cleanup, I kept. And then I covered a canvas with some of the paper, which I haven't finished. I made some tags with some of the paper, and I took some deli sheet paper that I had and I glued all of the napkins on that were left over that I had not used, and that's what these wings and tail are. So it has a special memory to me when I look at it. And then, of course, her little cup says birdseed, and then I gave her 3 of those little round paper clips for her little hair. Okay, so that's all I'm going to show you for today. I'm going to close this video and we're going to move on to the next video, which is one where I prep for you and show you all the different things that you can use, that I did use, that are possibilities. And then after we get through with that, we're going to go into a project and make it, okay? I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.